Oh boy, WNBA fans, y'all are screwed. Look at that. Caitlin Clark is out 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Do you know how bad the WNBA ratings are going to be for the next 2 weeks? Nobody watches the WNBA at all if it's not for Caitlin Clark in the first place. Now that she is hurt, who in the world is going to watch these games? Who in the world is going to watch a WNBA game without the biggest star the sport has seen ever? Like, this is going to be hilarious the next couple of weeks when these ABC stations, TNT, ESPN, see how bad the ratings are when Caitlin Clark isn't playing. And then all the players are going to see, oh, wow, we actually need Caitlin Clark to play in these games for us to try to make money.
When one athlete is practically carrying the whole WNBA like she's dragging a mattress up a twisty staircase, you know things are getting intense. Caitlin Clark isn't just a top player. She's the story, the spotlight, and the reason fans are packing arenas. ESPN can't get enough of her, and Fox Sports might as well rebrand in her honor. If TV networks had feelings, they'd be lining up to give her lifetime hugs and unlimited pizza.
Caitlin Clark has just been ruled out for the next 2 weeks, and ticket sales are already down 75%. So if you didn't know, Caitlin Clark injured her hamstring and is out for the next 2 weeks, including 2 road games. One of those games being against the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese, where they have a very heated rivalry. Just 2 days ago, the cheapest ticket to get into the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever game was $86, and now it's down to $25. This is also against the same person who said the reason people come to watch the WNBA is because of her, talking about Angel Reese, but she cannot even keep the ticket prices up.
We're not just seeing big numbers. We're talking the kind that make boardroom execs spit out their lattes in shock. Numbers the league probably thought disappeared with the dinosaurs. Now, even folks who haven't tuned into women's basketball since Cheryl Swoops had her own sneakers are back and watching nonstop.
Teams that Caitlin Clark was supposed to play against over these next 2 weeks also already rented out a bigger stadium because of how many people they were expecting to have show up to see Caitlin Clark play. And because the WNBA is only about 40 games, she is missing a huge chunk of time with being out 2 weeks in June.
It's like March Madness turned into a year-round deal, and Caitlin's the one running the show, but the WNBA treats her like a vending machine. Useful, but easy to swap out. She's delivering pure gold, and they're reacting like she's handing out discount passes to a roller rink. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does the WNBA deserve this mess? Let's go.
WNBA's got a real ratings problem, okay? The ratings came out for the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark game. I saw some people actually trying to spin this as a positive, and I was like, they're light 235,000 viewers.
Seriously. The WNBA's welcome for Clark felt more like a dusty yoga mat from a thrift shop than a red carpet. Instead of charter flights, she got crammed into coach. Instead of star treatment, she got stuck with a brutal schedule that would make a coal miner flinch. If there's a manual on how to mishandle a once-in-a-generation talent, the league's following it page by page. Meanwhile, Clark's putting up MVP-level numbers while taking cheap shots and cold stares from players acting like defense means body slams. If she's their golden ticket, they're treating her like leftovers past the sell-by date. And now that she's injured, the WNBA front office is practically in panic mode like someone just yanked their power cord.
She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard. When it was really all said and done, we know what she brings to the table. But people wanted to hate because why? You had a bunch of players in this league that watched this young white girl come along and take the league by storm, and they resented it because they saw the marketing prowess that she had.
Let's be real. Her injury wasn't just a team setback. It was a league-wide emergency. The panic at WNBA headquarters probably registered on a Richter scale. One quad strain, and suddenly the energy vanished. Empty gyms, sleepy scoreboard crews, and all the buzz gone in a flash. Without Clark, the spotlight dimmed faster than Angel Reese in a clutch fourth quarter. Yeah, I said it.
Clark was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year last season and a first-team All-WNBA selection. So far, she's averaging 19 points in the league, leading 9.3 assists through 4 games this season. I could give a damn about that last part. I don't care about her leading the league in assists. I don't care about the points that she's averaging because I already know that the young lady can ball. She is special. What I'm interested in is what somebody tweeted me and asked about earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put this tweet up, please, so our audience can see it here. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I, right? Stephen A. Smith, can the WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out?
The online meltdown was immediate. Twitter basically became one big therapy session. Fans aren't just disappointed, they're furious because this mess didn't have to happen. You push a player like she's a temp working 16-hour shifts, throw her into 5 games in 8 days, let defenders treat her like a piñata, and then act shocked when she gets hurt? Come on. Clark's been carrying the show like a one-woman Broadway act on a stage barely held up by duct tape, while other players hang back like understudies, just waiting for their moment.
The Clark effect is alive and well, but unfortunately for the WNBA, she's now out for a minimum of 2 weeks before she gets reevaluated. So they might not see numbers like this for quite some time. This next Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky game, June 7th, I believe, that's going to be on CBS as well. You think that's going to draw 2.7? I can assure you it won't. You think that's going to draw over 2 million? I can assure you that won't.
Let's talk facts. When Clark plays, viewership soars like Shaq towering over a middle school dance. The arenas buzz with energy when she's on the court, but the moment she's out, it's dead quiet. Just empty seats and bored fans. Without her, the ratings tank like someone cut the power. It's not just less exciting. It's commercial break during church boring. If Caitlin Clark so much as sneezes, 3 networks are ready with breaking news. That's real star power. And how does the WNBA handle it? By throwing her into games against defenders built like linebackers and letting refs who seem to favor Angel Reese look the other way. Clark's taking hits that would be crimes in some countries, while Reese plays the underdog card, dishes out cheap shots, and calls it grit. Angel, we see you. That's not hustle, that's envy in disguise.
We need her to play for us to get views, so maybe we should stop hurting her. Oh, maybe they'll finally see that they need Caitlin Clark. I mean, I can't believe we even have to discuss this, that she's even, I mean, if you don't think she's the biggest star in the sport, you're delusional. This girl carries not only her team, but her sport and her league. She carries the league, and you're going to find it.
The league didn't just overwork Clark. They squeezed everything out of her like she was the last cow on earth and forgot to feed her. She's out there playing huge minutes, facing triple teams, and dragging Indiana like a solo superhero with no help. Now that she's injured, the WNBA looks lost, like someone cut the Wi-Fi. Who's the next big draw? Sorry, but Reese's 2-point layups and mean mugs aren't exactly lighting up SportsCenter's a block.
The Fever stink without Caitlin Clark. It is rough. It has been a rough stretch. I thought that Indiana would split the 4 games that she was out if she was going to be out 4 games. I guess that's still on the table.
Clark's last game before getting hurt drew over 2 million viewers. That's straight up blockbuster numbers, the kind that make you cancel plans and grab popcorn. But now, the games that should have kept that energy going are struggling just to hold enough attention to keep sponsors interested. And if you think Reese can step up to fill that gap, think again. She's way better at posing for photos than making plays on the court.
Be clear about this. If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She's the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. She'd be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird, essentially. That is where we now are.
What's really sad is this could have been avoided. The WNBA landed a once-in-a-generation star, a marketing dream, a jersey-selling machine, a crowd-thrilling force. But instead of protecting her like a fragile treasure, they treated her like just another player. Now, they're shocked, staring at falling ratings in half-empty arenas like, wait, what went wrong? You can't let Caitlin Clark get pushed around and hit hard every game. then act surprised when everything falls apart. You don't let dirty plays and flagrant fouls fly just because other players want a moment in the spotlight. And you definitely don't ignore her importance until she's out with an injury. Then suddenly the whole league feels like it's lost its lifeline.
NBA, they're having troubles with tickets now because I think Caitlin Clark is out for what? How many weeks is she out? She's ruled out for the June 7th game. That's when she was supposed to meet up with Angel Reese again. And Chicago Sky, and there's a massive drop in ticket sales.
The fans know it, the networks know it, and even Stephen A. Smith is already gearing up for a big rant. Without Clark, the WNBA slips back into what it's tried to avoid for 20 years, an empty echo chamber. And the worst part? It didn't have to happen. Take the Indiana Fever, for example. If you think they didn't feel Clark's absence the second she sat out, you're dead wrong. Their latest game against the Washington Mystics looked like a blindfolded squirrel trying to fly a spaceship. Pure chaos, no direction, and a total mess. The Fever completely fell apart, and you could almost smell the panic. Players kept looking to the bench like maybe Clark would jump out of the water cooler wearing a superhero cape to save the day. Spoiler alert, she didn't.
The Fever stink without Caitlin Clark. It is rough. It has been a rough stretch. I thought that Indiana would split the 4 games that she was out if she was going to be out 4 games. I guess that's still on the table.
The Fever without Caitlin is like pizza without cheese. Technically still pizza, but why even bother? Their offense moved slower than a 90s dial-up modem trying to stream Netflix. The defense was missing like a dad in a soap opera. And don't even get me started on their shooting. Those misses looked like they were allergic to the basket. The whole game felt like someone trying to power a Tesla with a potato battery. If anyone still questioned how much one player could change a team, this game wiped out all doubts.
The Indiana Fever literally just gave everything they had against the worst team in the league, and they still lost. You still lost. That was probably the best performance you're going to get in this stretch of games without Caitlin Clark down that stretch. I mean, they came back from down 15 points. They went on a 16-0 run.
Everyone on that court was giving it their all. But let's be honest, there was a huge Clark-sized hole in the lineup. No amount of hustle could make up for her absence. Caitlin is the force that draws defenders, swings momentum, and sparks that last-minute magic when it feels like all hope is gone. Without her, watching the team was like trying to fix a broken dam with chewing gum and duct tape. The confidence just wasn't there. Instead of pushing hard in the fourth quarter, they shuffled along, repeating, "We got this," but it sounded more like, "Please let this be over."
I just had the miserable task of watching the Indiana Fever play basketball without Caitlin Clark. There were a whole lot of things wrong with this game on the basketball side of things. Obviously, the Indiana Fever's interior defense was horrible. If you watched this game, you saw them give up, I think, over 50 points in the paint. Aaliyah Boston looked like a cone down there. It was literally horrible to watch. I haven't seen a team play that bad interior defense in a long time. They were not even trying. It's like Caitlin Clark wasn't playing out there, and they decided, you know what, since Caitlin Clark isn't playing, we're not even going to try. We know we're going to lose. It was horrible to watch. This is a game you could have won against the youngest team in the league.
Meanwhile, the Mystics sensed weakness and attacked like sharks at a buffet. This wasn't just a game. They threw a feast from the start, speeding up the pace, spotting every weakness, and running the Fever like a warm-up drill. Sure, the final score was 83-77. Looking close on paper, but don't be fooled. That was just smoke and mirrors. What really went down was a complete tactical takeover. The Mystics seemed to know every move ahead, like they'd been snooping on the Fever's group chat, while the Fever looked like nervous freshmen guessing on a pop quiz.
Bunch of rookies out there. This was a winnable game for the Indiana Fever. This team, mind you, with Caitlin Clark, literally lost by 2 to the New York Liberty, which is the championship team last year. And without Caitlin Clark, you look trash out there. And it's not even that they look trash. They are boring to watch.
This wasn't just a loss. It was a harsh reality check. The Fever were missing their anchor, their leader, their heart. They fought hard, but without Caitlin setting the pace, the Mystics sailed through. Her absence was obvious. Her court vision, control of the tempo, and confidence were all missing. You can't fake that kind of spark. Sometimes, losing just one key piece can make the whole team fall apart. And that missing piece was sitting on the bench with an ice pack, while the whole league hopes she gets better soon.
Just embarrassing. This was an embarrassing game. Stephanie White down 12 points with 6 seconds to go, just called a timeout. She just called a timeout. This was a absolute embarrassment. An embarrassing performance from the Indiana Fever.
Now that Caitlin's out, the whole WNBA feels frozen, like it's in shock saying, what just happened? Behind closed doors, meetings probably sound like, maybe we shouldn't have treated her like a touring rock band. Maybe someone should have remembered she's a person, not just a highlight machine. But hey, hindsight's always 20/20, especially when your star is sidelined. Here's the real twist. Even off the court, Caitlin Clark is still stealing the headlines. She's the biggest story in the game, while others struggle to get a single retweet. Social media is going wild. Fans are praying for her recovery, but also demanding the league step up. The excitement isn't gone. It's just sitting courtside with an ice pack. Meanwhile, her rivals try to go viral with TikToks that barely get noticed. The league thought they could ride Caitlin's wave without respecting the current. And now, they're just a bunch of confused floaties stranded on dry land.
The Fever lose to a young Washington Mystics team, 83-77. Look lost without Caitlin Clark.
This should be the loudest wake-up call in WNBA history. If the decision-makers don't see that their lifeline just limped off the court, they're sleeping harder than a sloth on NyQuil. Caitlin isn't just any player. She's the player. She didn't arrive quietly. She exploded onto the scene with fireworks and excitement, making fans care again. Now, with the buzz fading and viewership dropping, everyone's left wondering, wait, why is it so quiet in here?
So, the Indiana Fever did not look good without Caitlin Clark. I guess that would be an understatement. Look, I mean, it's not that surprising to see the drop-off for the Fever without Clark. This Caitlin Clark effect, if you will. Because so often what's talked about is her impact on interest or economics, but all of that is based on her abilities as a basketball player.
The league was handed a once-in-a-generation star and is treating her like a teenager with a credit card. Reckless, clueless, and already in debt. Keep pretending Clark is just another player. Keep pushing balance and shared spotlight, while arenas echo empty and ratings drop. But here's the truth. You can't hide a lighthouse under a lampshade. If Caitlin doesn't come back soon, whether in body, mind, or spirit, the league will be left with empty gyms where players' sneakers squeak like ghost whispers. To all the haters calling her overrated like it's their full-time job, get ready to be proven wrong. The moment she stepped off the court, the lights dimmed, fans checked out, and the magic disappeared. She wasn't just part of the show, she was the show. Now the WNBA is replaying the same scenes with the star missing from the credits. It's still on air, but who's really watching? Caitlin didn't just bring interest back, she gave the league a heartbeat. Without her, it's flatlining faster than a canceled sitcom. Let us know in the comments if you think the WNBA deserves this mess. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Click the one on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.